Good day everybody, my name is Awesomecrunch and welcome back to more Far Cry 5. Now this episode we've got a little bit more information on the possibility of the Bigfoot Easter egg. Now whether this is actually legit or not, I don't actually know. But we're going to be having a look at a couple of clues that people have found for the existence of Bigfoot so far. And we're also going to have a look at one that I think I might have found myself. Whether it's actually one or not, whether it's just a big coincidence, I don't entirely know. So it could be anything, but it's worth a look at, I reckon. Just wanted to say thank you to all the awesome support we've had on the Far Cry videos so far. They're doing really well. First time many videos have done this well, other than some more to come on the channel, so I'm really, really grateful. So welcome everyone that's new to the channel, and please remember to leave a like if you do go on to enjoy the video. Back at the cave near Dansky's cabin, where you do the Prepper Stash mission with Dansky's Bigfoot, you come to this cave, and there is a buoy, and there is also a life jacket, or as some people call it, a life preserver, dangling off this branch here. So I thought, that's got to be some sort of clue to the whereabouts of Bigfoot, and I thought, well, maybe that's talking about some sort of coastal location, some sort of lake, something like that. And some people were saying that they'd found some buoys, because they're not placed around the map very much at all. But people have been saying they'd found them in Silver Lake and around that area. So I went to go and have a look at myself, and I found some too. But the most important thing about this to remember is that there is a buoy here, and further down the path, there is also a hat, a white hat, like this. And that's important that you remember what that looks like, because that is very relevant. And there is also another one of them here next to this big blood stain. So, I went on a hunt around Silver Lakes, which is where people had told me they'd found some buoys, and I found some myself, and I did a bit of investigating, and turns out that the buoys are actually related to another mission, which is a collectible mission where you have to find barrels of whiskey. Okay, so people were saying that they found some buoys alongside some rocks with letters on it, primarily S, W, N, and E, I think is what people were saying. And that there's also some buoys around them, and here's one here. This is the first one I found after I went looking for them after people told me about them. And I thought, oh, okay, this could actually be a clue to Bigfoot, because there's a W, and I thought, oh, is that meaning west? And then I went to go and find some others as well, and there's 4 of them, or at least there's 4 to my knowledge, and they all have different letters on, W, S, N, and E, which is of course a compass, and it places around this area. So this is west here, there's another one down here which I think is S, this one is east, and this one is north, I think. So whatever it is in the centre here. But I don't think that's relevant. I think that just could be anything. And there's also these red crosses. But these are actually markers for the mission, and so are the buoys. Because if you follow the line all the way down, you get to a very weird, but part of the mission, house, which is underwater. And there is a barrel of whiskey here that you have to collect as part of the mission. Now, why there's a house underwater, I don't know why it would be there. That's quite a weird placement for anything. It's not an Easter egg, it's just kind of a weird place for something to be. Why would you build a house underwater, or how would it get there? I don't know. So, when I discovered the buoys, and I assumed that it was part of some sort of collectible mission, I went on the map and had to see if there was anyone around that was going to give me a mission. Because I thought, oh, that's got to be the mission to get all of the whiskey. So, I headed here, which is the Can of Worms fishing store. And here is a woman called Sherry, who will tell you about I think it's her dad's or her granddad's whiskey business, and it kind of all went a bit wrong when the cult took over and they hid some barrels of whiskey under the water to do whatever whiskey needs to do. So you come in here, you talk to her somewhere around here, she's behind the desk I think, and she gives you that mission to go and get it, and it gives you collectibles, and it's here in the journal as a side mission. Whiskey River. Find the missing McKellen's whiskey barrels submerged in the lake and bring them to Sherry. Remember, look for the red cross that marks a spot and then follow the directions written near it. So yeah, that's the one. So the W must be directions to the place, so west. I don't really know how that works though, because the house isn't west of the rock, but I guess we'll see how that works. So that's the mission you get from Sherry, but that's not the most important thing I discovered here, because essentially I was having a look around the shop and there's just some there's some barrels and stuff, and there's some gherkins and beetroot, stuff like that, but there's also this packet of cereal, which I think could be the stuff that's on the mountain. There's dog food, which you can find on the mountain. You can find dog food on the mountainside where that guy was killed. You can also find this hat, which can be found twice on the mountainside. Now whether it means anything or not, I have no idea, but it's a thing. You can also find this cooler box on the mountain as well. That's also there. But as well as all of that, there's also 3 hooks for life jackets, or rafts, or whatever you want to call them, and some buoys as well. Now bear in mind there are 3 hooks, but only 2 life jackets, and that might be completely irrelevant, but it is a thing. There looks like there should be 3 of them there, but there's only 2. So I'm thinking someone came here first, maybe, and then went up. Or they could have been the owner of this shop, other than Sherry, maybe her dad or granddad, or whoever it was that went up. So pretty much it's just your basic shop. But the fact that there is a missing life jacket here, and also possibly a missing buoy, it kind of suggests to me that there could be some kind of connection to this fishing hut. Now if you find anything else interesting about the fishing hut, or anything else about the items found on the mountain in Dansky's mission, then please do go ahead and tell me. But I think it's certainly a possibility that this is actually a thing that matters. Tell me whether you think it matters or not. I'll be happy to read what you people think about this. So the other main point, which suggests that the Bigfoot sighting that we're going to get, or at least the thing related to Bigfoot that we're going to get, is to do with the crop circle that can be found in John's region. Sorry, no, not John's region, Jacob's region, is this crop circle here. So essentially, on the Reddit page for the Bigfoot finding, a guy called Vortilus said that at the original cabin there was a note on an outhouse, a manuscript fragment, that mentions the author, who's Dansky, first encountering Bigfoot when working as a counsellor at a nearby camp at night after taking the campers hiking, canoeing or something. Breakthrough Camp is relatively nearby, so Breakthrough Camp is this thing here, and it's relatively nearby to Dansky's cabin, which is just over here. So Vortilus travelled there and he found a trail marked for canoeing, which went east a little bit until you can cross the river. So we're going to go there now, see if we can find that ourselves, because I haven't actually been there to see if this is true or not yet, so might be interesting to look at. So as you can see here, this leads down to a canoeing spot, and there's also another canoeing spot here, along with a little bridge over there. Now on the other side of this river is exactly where the crop circle thing is. And that is why people are assuming that the crop circle has something to do with Bigfoot. Now, I don't know whether it does or not, or if it has any significance to anything at all. But everything so far does seem to be pointing towards the existence of Bigfoot being something to do with this crop circle. And as you can see, we're here again. There's always a lot of creatures here. Always quite aggressive creatures as well, but there are always here creatures in this area. And it's this crop circle. Again, everything seems to point towards this crop circle. So, I don't know entirely what to think about that. So I don't know what entirely to think about this, but please leave your thoughts below in the comment section. Whether you think this is something to do with Bigfoot. Now, in relation to the most recent video I did, which was about this possible serial killer Easter egg, there was a phone call that I was looking at the end, and it was basically some foreign language, and people were saying it was the Wenju language, or the Winja language, or Wenja? I think it was Wenja language that's in Far Cry Primal. So again, it looks like it was just another Far Cry Primal Easter egg, which is fine. So it's nothing to do with the serial killer Easter, but it is another Easter egg related to Far Cry Primal, which is pretty cool, and quite a random thing to find. So I'm glad we found that, because it's at least something, but not what we were looking for. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video here, guys. If you do have any more suggestions or anything like that for me to do, anything you'd like me to see me to do in Far Cry, any other games you'd like me to see me play, anything like that, or any new Easter egg, or any new information you know at all, then please do let me know, as I would love to cover it. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please remember to leave a like. If you're feeling really, really generous, subscribe to my Crunchy David. Until next one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Try, my friends.